Time to get over to Dirty Danny Delgado shop. Work on the rear. I'm Rick, and this shut the heck up, you stinking boosters. Your sanity. This is the shack. Hey everybody, welcome. Hey, if you're new to the channel, first time stopping by, thank you so much for taking some of your time out to view. Always ask that you would consider subscribing. If you do, ring that bell down there so you are notified when my videos do come out. In this video, we're going to try to accomplish a couple of things. Not always a guarantee, we're going to try. First thing I'm going to do, I'm going to build a temporary jig, I guess you want to call it, for my old rear end that came out of the 72 to sit on, so I can get the width correct as far as where the new perches are going to go on the new rear end, and make like a temporary angle finder jig so I can get the angle correct, so make sure I get this thing tilted properly. I'm not sure about geometry wise if I'm supposed to go a different angle, so I'm just going to keep it stock. You know, again, this is all new to me. I don't know about this. I can work on my truck, but I'm not a mechanic. I know how to work on it, do brakes, change oil. I can pretty much rebuild a 350, but stuff like this, completely out of my realm of knowledge. Anything. This is all new to me. If I get the rear end welded today or tomorrow, and that'd be a huge check. Done. So let's get started. Now this jig that I am building, I got the idea while going through a thread I was reading. One of the gentlemen had updated the rear in his 66 Chevy. He showed some pictures, and one of the pictures was the rear end setting on 5 or 6 2x4 stack, setting at an angle on a piece of plywood so he could keep it from moving. I modified it. I just put it on a couple of 4x6s, put a couple of 2x4s on top of that, high enough where the rear wouldn't touch the ground, put a 2x4 on both sides so it wouldn't move or shift on me. And basically once I got this built, I put the rear on, marked where the factory rear perches were at. So when I put the new rear on, I would set my new perches on those marks, set my new rear on, center it in those perches, and then weld it up. So this is the process that I went through to get to that point. Now this is my makeshift angle finder. So I'll move it, and I'm trying to get the angle of the rear. Hopefully I'm doing it right. Again, I'm not sure. Basically, set it down on the ground, and I'm just going to go off the bolts on the rear. Make sure it's flush. And that is my angle, and I actually have it marked so I know when, if it moves, that's exactly where it goes. So when I get the new rear end sitting on here leveled out, I can tilt the rear to match the angle so it's the same one as a factory. Again, I'm not sure if I have to. I don't know if there's another angle I should be going at. If anybody knows, let me know in the comments below, please. So I think we're done with this. The leaf spring perch I bought are for the factory rear. I think it's like a 3-inch diameter. The one I'm installing into my truck is 3.5 inches, so I have to grind that perch a little bit bigger in order for it to fit on the new rear. Luckily, I found a socket is the same diameter, 3.5 inches. I used that as a guide to grind down the perch until the socket would sit in there. So now I go through and I basically put a bevel on both sides of this perch so it makes for a better weld. I think that these might be for like a coil or something, I'm not sure, but they're definitely not for the leaf springs. I'm going to get the torches I'm going to cut these off, and since these are really flat, I think I'll use a grinder to try to cut these off. There it goes. Alright, everything is ground. I just got a few little low spots. I'm going to have to put a little bead of weld on and grind it out smooth. But for the most part, this is ready to weld. So I'm going to get my rear off of that jig. Then I'll get my rear and put it over on that. So somewhere over there is where I'm going to actually do the welding. So I think it's time to start moving some rears around. Okay, we got a few little last minute adjustments. You can see that is dead level. We are sitting at 6/7/8 on this side. And on this side, if we can get over here, 6 7/8 there. I am good. We are level. I got my rear angle set. This is ready to weld finally. Okay, right here. That picture right there, I noticed, just like probably some of the other people will notice, that the angle finder wasn't really against the rear properly. I know that. So no comments saying I screwed up or something. Believe me, I probably did screw up. I just don't know where at. But what you didn't see, I had picked up a 4x6, I got a 2x4, and I got some scrap pieces of metal, different thicknesses. I used that to shim it until I got the rear at the correct angle that I wanted. Because unfortunately that cherry picker, the hydraulics aren't the greatest. You jack it up, and then if you leave it, it starts going back down. It doesn't keep the pressure long. What you didn't catch, or what I didn't even have it on video, was what I did to rectify that situation. So it was angled properly. It was centered best that I could possibly get it. Took that big deep breath and said, okay, I think I'm good. Back to the video.
Staring at the light. Here, kid. Come over here. Come on. Over here.
put on the welded by Dirty Dan Delgado.
We have finally completed the welding on my rear. A couple little spots here I had to fix, but that's the welds. So my perches are on. Another little repair there. So this is ready to go into my truck. As again, nothing goes as planned. Once that was done, I got the shackles, I got the springs, got the shackles mounted in the hanger, got the springs mounted to the shackles. When I went to put the spring into the front hanger, no way, it wasn't happening. The new springs are a little bit beefier because of everything I'm doing. I have to beef up the rear end. So these springs are a little bit wider. These factory, I think, are 2.5. These are just 2 3/4, but where the spring mounts into the hanger is 3 inches, and mine are 2 3/4, a whole 1/4 inch. And when you're talking with metal that's not going to flex, that's a lot. I went online, I got new hangers coming that are supposed to accommodate a 3-inch spring, so hopefully it'll work. Another delay, but all I got for now. Rear is welded, ready, half of my springs ready. Got to get the hanger to mount up. Once that's done, then I can mount the rear to it, and then we can go to the next step. So thank you so much for watching. Be blessed. Take back your for your sanity. I want something to go right. I want it to go smoothly. I just don't want more delays. So we will see, and we will see you in the next video. Time to get over the dirty Danny. Dirty Danny. Now before you make a mad dash to the comment, now before you go heading down to the comment